One day I was mowing my lawn at 10 mils on the 19th of February 2023. Then I realized weeds, onkruid, or like the Zulus would always say, Izichalo, Zingafuneki. The wee and the weeds. I mean, so there's a couple of large concerns. Let's not trick each other, let's not lie to each other. There's a couple of big issues here, like weeds. Let me show you. Like this kikuyu, which is sprouting and germinating all over. Like this kweek right here, which is becoming a bit of an issue every single year. Like this yellow oxalis, which I've sprayed about a month back, and now the last week I'm seeing them again. And also there's poa annua patches with a little bit of kikuyu in it, but there's plenty of them. Just have a look, all these lighter patches, poa. Another one that looks like poa, but it's not, it's bent grass. Bent, more bent. So the weeds, so what, Owens? I can live with that. But there's one thing I cannot live with, and that's the wee. All these yellow spots are dog wee. All of them. Have a look here. You know, at least when the weeds are growing and you hack them back to the same level as the lawn, they look okay. But look at these dog wee spots, Owens. Hierdie meisies onder, these lady girls. Nee man. Yeah, Owens, so it is what it is. I've got weeds, plenty of them. One I forgot to show you is the goose grass. But still my biggest concern is the female dogs weeing on this lawn. I've got 3 on this yard and it's just wreaking havoc. The only way I can combat this is maybe putting up a gate or something below these steps right there, and hopefully they don't come onto the lawn. That's the only thing I can think of. But now I will go through a couple of methods how I remove these weeds. Maybe not all of them, because this will probably be a 2 or a 3 week job. Coming out here continuously, taking out some of the weeds, getting them under control. Right, so here's multiple goosegrass sprouts. Let me show you what they look like. And the process for removing goosegrass, this is kikuyu, this is goosegrass, is pretty much the same. Especially the kikuyu when you get it when it's as young as it is here. Goosegrass will get bigger, but it'll stay flat. It will grow flat on the ground like this, and you'll see that white part of the stalk right there, even sometimes purple in the middle. Whereas kikuyu spread via runners quite aggressively, so you really want to get this out of this bluegrass before it gets too big, because obviously the damage becomes bigger the longer you leave it. So this is kikuyu. It grows a little bit different. It almost starts the same, but then it will start running on the ground, and then wherever it shoots leaves or wherever it's nodes, it's got a possibility of shooting down roots as well as more leaves and basically creating a new plant. Right guys, let's look at a small poa patch here. I've got a tent spike right here, and I like to use an old 10 spike or a new 10 spike or an old screwdriver. I like to use things that's fairly inexpensive because you wear them out with doing this. And I like to loosen the roots at the bottom. It helps that it's rained quite a lot the last few weeks. Loosen the roots, and then normally a bunch type grass comes out fairly easily, just like this. And there's that power piece gone. However, it becomes a lot more difficult with larger areas like that because the damage is much bigger and yeah, just takes longer to recover. Just let me just show you what I do when I'm done with a piece like this. So I'm gonna go and get my dustbin. Then when I've got this piece out, what I like to do is what they do on the golf courses with pitch marks. I work the grass to the inside of the bare patch, right here. And that should recover very quickly. Now this very quickly becomes a little bit more of a tricky situation here because the area that I'll have to remove is far bigger. Now I'll close this up as much as I can, but I probably won't even get close to closing the entire thing. And also, because I've removed such a big piece, this area would probably need a lot more soil, or added soil at least. It is actually quite impressive to see how much smaller this area is getting. I mean, we were working with about this big and now it's only this big. Add some sand to this area. And then when I water this in, this should also recover, well, I won't say fast because Kentucky bluegrass doesn't spread that fast, but at least it should recover in a decent amount of time. Still feels a little bit soft. I'm going to add more sand. Yeah, so that one's done, guys. Only that bare bit in the middle there. I'll probably come about out a day or two later and try and kind of work the grass a little bit more in once it's settled a little bit more. But grass everywhere here, so we should have fair growth and fair recovery here. Guys, and the weeds are basically rinse and repeat. So I'll go on with a few of them now. But let's talk about the dog wee spots. A lot of people would probably say, no, listen, it's not the dog, it's a fungus. But one of the clear signs, let's look at the biggest one here, is you can clearly see a dark ring around this wee, which tells us there's some urea action going on there, and it's acting like a bit of a fertilizer around that. So I'm going to declare that myth busted. It's a dog wee. It's probably a dog's neck broken in my dreams. Nee, Ginger? Wie pedo? Huh? Right, guys, so I basically do the same thing. Besides, I don't remove anything here because some of this grass could actually come back, which I don't think it does. Normally this bluegrass doesn't come back. Okay, wag, jy wat die probleem gemaak het met dalk nou net so bietjie daai kant toe lê. So I do the same thing. I try and work as much as the growing grass as I possibly can to the middle, starting on the ring, on the outer ring, working my way to the middle, kind of breaking it up a bit, and then going on the outer layer, working that even more in. Then you could go back a little bit later and work this inner ring a little bit further in, and then go to the outer ring again. So you could end up with a flippin' half a meter of stuff that you're trying to work to the middle. It's quite hard work, and it's better preventing these type of things than trying to deal with them later on. But you know, I've got a day job and these things happen. It's already a lot smaller. Yeah, I would say we've probably decreased this by about a third. I would like to add a little bit of sand here to go into these hollow parts on the outer ring here. Yeah guys, the other obvious thing that we can do is get some donor plugs. So the last time I did that, I took some donor plugs from here. It took quite some time for those to recover because once again, Kentucky bluegrass doesn't spread that fast. But that works, especially if you take a little bit smaller ones. On kikuyu, you can take quite big ones because kikuyu spreads fast, it recovers fast. So on kikuyu, very good idea to use that. But even on bluegrass, it just doesn't spread as fast. Owens, let's look at the Bermuda or the quirk. This one is a bit of a bugger. Yeah, and so I've got some here, I've got some here, which is not good. I'm going to target this area now. This one disguises itself, whatever, it hides itself between the bluegrass. It's got a very similar growing habit. The only thing is it spreads on top of the lawn as well, or it's got this kind of runner that hangs over the bluegrass, which I'm not a great fan of, but the leaf blade size is almost the same. There's a certain time of the day that you can see it clearly, other times you can hardly see it. So it doesn't look as bad, but it obviously is not great because it's a warm season grass and the bluegrass is a cool season grass. So really want it out, really tough to spot, really comes back every single year. Look at this, Owens. No man, look at these rhizomes. No, this stuff is good. Not in bluegrass, but it's good for persistent. Right, Owens, so on that note, these weeds are persistent and the wee is also very persistent. But as long as we, as lawn owners, lawn carers, whatever, also stay persistent, we can conquer them. Spend time outside, take these weeds out. Another thing I want to talk about is a product called Lawn Till, which can stop these things before they start. Well, it can stop annua and goosegrass before they, all the stuff that comes up from seed before they start. It's called a pre-emergent. It's also got an active herbicide in there, which I'm not 100% sure what active ingredient it is, but that I can't use on the bluegrass. But Owens with kikuyu, like me, on a different section of my lawn, and Owens with quirk can use that to prevent it from coming up. You obviously can't use it when it's mature, like where's a piece of goosegrass come now, where's you? Like here, well, these ones that I'm taking out, where's more? Oh yeah, here's goosegrass. You can't treat that, but you can treat them before they come up. So use them in the beginning of the season. If you've got Poa annua coming up, then you want to use it now at the end of the season, because winter grass germinates, well, almost from this time into winter. Goosegrass germinates in the beginning of summer. Okay, Owen, so I hope that helps. Unfortunately, I can't use that on this bluegrass because it also obviously kills the bluegrass, which is a bit of a pity. So I get to do a little bit of elbow grease. But in any case, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your support to this channel. Thank you for leaving a comment if you want to. Thank you for supporting my online shop, southafricanlawn.co.za, buying these caps and fallies and all the lacquer stuff. And I'll probably see you in the next video, and I'll probably give you some updates of my lawn, Owens, how the weeds going, how the weeds are going, just all the things that can improve it. Cheers, see you later, bye. Guys, just an interesting one. This is why Bermuda is so difficult for me to identify and to control in this lawn. Just have a look at what happens when I pull on one of the Bermuda stems. You can see how it's pulling. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. You can see how it's completely disguised in the grass. But as you pull it, you can actually pull out the entire Bermuda part. I didn't even know there was Bermuda there. Have a look there.